Candace is with us in Indianapolis. Hi, Candace. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Better than I deserve.
Okay. Me too. I'm calling today because I currently rent a condo, and my landlord who owns the unit reached out to me and would like to sell the condo. I am in a lease, and so it was a 2-year lease, and I have 1 year left. And he would like to sell it, but would like me to move out. And so I'm trying to figure out what's an appropriate amount to ask for, almost like a cash for keys agreement, that in which case he would pay me to vacate early because he is requesting that I terminate the lease. And so I'm just a little not sure on what I should ask for, or if I should just say no and just stay in the condo for another year until my lease expires.
Well, if I were in your shoes, or if the roles were reversed, and you were in his shoes, you would want to work something out. I got a feeling it could get really awkward if you just hang out there for a year.
Yes, I feel like it would be awkward.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's do something. I don't know why he's asking you to terminate the lease. He's the one asking. I mean, you would have to agree to the lease termination, obviously, but I don't know why he is trying to posture to where you terminate the lease. He can terminate the lease, but he can only do it with compensation that you've agreed to. So, I mean, either way, we're adjusting. We have a written agreement. We're going to adjust that written agreement to you leaving. Okay. Now, does he want you out and he's going to renovate before he sells, or could you stay until it's sold?
So he initially offered me $2,000 to stay until it's sold, but I wouldn't receive those funds until the condo transaction closed.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to renovate it. He actually offered it to me, but I just can't. It just needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it has very high HOAs.
Okay, so how much is your rent? How much is your rent?
$900 a month.
Okay. All right. That doesn't sound unfair. Did it feel unfair to you?
It felt unfair just that I would have to obviously agree to showings, and basically I would be living in limbo, not knowing when the condo might sell. And then he would give me 14 days, he said, to relocate. And so,
okay, well, let's just negotiate. Let's negotiate a little bit. Okay. You said it's $900 rent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stay at $600 rent and $2,000 when I leave. The difference in the $300 is me keeping the place clean and ready to sell. And I can't be gone in 14 days. I'll need 30 days notice.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fair. Because I want to be fair. He has been a good landlord. And I
well, there's
understand
not anything wrong with any number here that makes the number fair or unfair. Unless it just got grotesque. You know, and then nobody's going to do it. But anything you two agree to is fair because you two agreed to it. Both of you did.
Okay. And would you recommend that I receive the money after the condo closed?
That's probably the only way you're going to get it because that's probably the only place he's got any money.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the rent reduction, I've done this as a landlord myself where I offer a rent reduction and you keep it clean and show ready and very accessible. You're not hard to get along with for the realtor coming in. And basically you're being compensated for all that $300 a month in your case and with my example. And then you have to give 30 days notice and upon closing I get $2,000. And you put all of that, of course, in writing.
Okay.
That sounds like a good plan, yeah. And then you're out of his way. He gets everything he wants. You get everything you want. And if it takes a little while to sell, you got a good deal.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, Candace, listen,
Dave.
That's a really good plan Dave just gave you, and I would lead with an in-person. I know you need to get it in writing, but Dave, I just believe in a phone call, where people can hear your emotions and your humility and say, hey, thank you for the offer. I need to spend some time on it. I really want this to work out. I want to help you do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a couple thoughts. That just little extra touch takes away the defensiveness, or the thing I worry about with emails these days, people try to do things electronically. They read in emotions sometimes that aren't there. So I think Dave's plan is brilliant. I would just add that little personal touch, and I think it'll go well.
Yeah, you can't read anything into it. And the problem is Yes, call him and talk about it, and then follow up with an email.
Yes.
Absolutely, really good suggestion. And people, and I guess it includes even me. I was gonna make it generational, but it's not. Texting and emails are so common that everybody does that. And like a friend of mine was talking to his son, who's in his 30s, who just turned down had two great job offers on the table, and he turned down one of them, and he said, you need to call them and tell them thank you
Yes.
for the offer, because you may end up working for them in 10 years, and you need to make a connection there, because very high end job, several $100,000 a year type thing, and you need to maintain that relationship. You don't text them and go, I'm going with the other guy.
That's right.
Which because somehow we've lost that training.
Yes.
My grandmother would say we lost the training when we quit handwriting letters for snail mail and putting a stamp on them.
True story. I was just getting ready to say, back in the day, we would write letters and we'd send them to people. And if we got one in the mail, we would open it up. And what would we do? We'd open it up, we'd read it, we'd read all the things. We'd go, great. And then we'd probably go get ourselves a tea. Or maybe we'd return the letter 2 or 3 days later. Nobody returned it right away. But the tyranny of the urgent, our culture, this is a cultural issue. This is a worldwide thing. Text, email, fast, go.
What do you mean it's been 3 minutes and you haven't answered me?
Right. And by the way, I just read some data. For people that are working from home. Dave, you're going to love this, because we're all about working in a building. And here's some more stuff to put in your bank here. You ready for this? 50% of people that are working from home, that have been working from home during the pandemic, would rather clean their toilets than answer more emails and chats that are all work-related, because here's the deal. They're overcompensating. People are overcompensating because they're not in the office, where they can walk to somebody's desk and go, hey, got an idea. What do you think about this? What may take 5 minutes turns into 10, 15 emails and maybe 45 minutes of your day. People would rather clean their toilets than answer more email. That's new data. I'm just telling you. So what's wrong with the human touch? We've gotten away from talking to people.
We're zoomed out, baby.
Just because everybody else is doing it, to your example of the young man turning down a high-end job, just because everybody else will send an email or text, you shouldn't.
We're not trained in it anymore.
No.
We're not trained. I wasn't trained in letter writing. I mean, I actually did. I actually did learn cursive writing, which was still a thing back then.
I did too. It was horrible, but I did it.
It was horrendous. Made my grandmother cringe, because she taught second grade and taught cursive writing.
I bet her penmanship was beautiful.
It was absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a craft back then.
It was. It's a lost art, and it's a shame in a very real thing. People don't send love letters anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone. The romance of it's gone. It's a thing. So yeah, there's all of that goes with it. So that's really good suggestion for Candace. And the other thing is, if you're going to have a difficult conversation, those of you out there talking about money stuff, and you've got a landlord dispute, or you've got a business a dispute with a business, firing off stuff on Twitter is pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah.
Send blazing hate mail, email, anonymous bullcrap, as if that's going to fix anything. Yeah. But this is the lack of training in how to get people to move to your side of an equation, and it requires an actual conversation with a human.
That's right. Technology is wonderful. Technology is not evil in and of itself, but when it replaces the human connection, sitting across from somebody and seeing, oh, they look a little tense, what can I do to drop that down? Or they react to me and I go, ooh, maybe I'm coming on a little strong. I see how they're reacting. Folks, this is God-given instinct to be able to connect and communicate. We are relational human beings. Put the phone down. Get away from the keyboard. Make a connection, for crying out loud.
Calluses on our thumbs.
Yes.